Buying a pre-owned SUV can feel like spinning a roulette wheel. One wrong move, and you're stuck with a money pit on 4 wheels. But what if I told you there are still a few SUVs under 10 grand that mechanics actually trust? The kind backed by drivers who've put hundreds of thousands of miles on them. And by the people who've looked under the hood. These models prove you can drive smart, save money, and still enjoy peace of mind. Today, we're counting down 9 affordable SUVs that are cheap to buy, cheap to fix, and built to last. Let's get started. Number 9. Kia Soul. Buying an SUV under 10 grand doesn't have to mean settling for something dull. And the 2012 Kia Soul is proof. It's funky, efficient, and shockingly practical for its size. This little box has earned a reputation among mechanics as one of those cars that just keeps going with minimal drama. And they'll tell you it's far easier to work on than most of the complicated crossovers out there today. Under the hood sits a 1.6 or 2.0-liter 4-cylinder engine producing anywhere from 138 to 164 horsepower. Not exactly a drag racer, but perfect for daily runs. Step inside, and you're greeted with a cabin that feels way more open than it looks from the outside. The upright seating position gives you that SUV visibility without the bulk, and the tall roofline means even tall passengers won't brush their heads. Later trims came with Bluetooth, touchscreen infotainment, and surprisingly good audio systems for this price bracket. And that rear cargo space? Over 24 cubic feet with the seats up, nearly 62 with them folded. In terms of price, you can get a used one for around 5 grand. Hyundai Santa Fe. The 2014 Hyundai Santa Fe gives you the feel of a full-size SUV without the full-size headache. You'll find these easily around $6,000, and mechanics love them because there's no weird engineering tricks, just solid, reliable machinery that does what you ask. The 4-cylinder version gives you respectable fuel economy of around 27 miles per gallon highway, while the V6 bumps the output to about 290 horsepower. Perfect for family road trips or towing a small trailer. Either way, both engines are known for handling mileage like champs when properly maintained. Inside, the Santa Fe feels big and comfortable. The front seats are supportive, the back row is generous, and if you snag the 3-row version, you can haul the entire crew without a squeeze. Plus, Hyundai packed in plenty of convenience features like USB ports, heated seats, and dual-zone climate. Out on the road, the Santa Fe rides soft and steady, soaking up bumps and bad roads with ease. It's not a corner carver, but that's the point. This SUV is about comfort and peace of mind. Mechanics like it for the straightforward drivetrain and the lack of chronic failures that plague many of its competitors. You'll want to check the cooling system and make sure the transmission shifts cleanly. Otherwise, the Santa Fe is the kind of SUV that makes you wonder why people spend more for the same capability. Number 7. Toyota Venza. If reliability had a personality, it'd look something like the 2015 Toyota Venza. This crossover was Toyota's answer for drivers who wanted something between a Camry and a Highlander. It may not scream for attention, but ask any mechanic, and they'll tell you this thing is a quiet legend in disguise. Most Venzas come with either a 2.7-liter 4-cylinder pushing 182 horsepower, or a buttery-smooth 3.5-liter V6 good for 268 horsepower. The 4-cylinder is the reliable commuter champ, easy on gas and cheap to maintain. The V6, on the other hand, gives you effortless highway passing power and the sort of refinement that feels more Lexus than Toyota. Step inside, and you'll instantly feel the difference. The cabin is wide with a sweeping dashboard design and soft touch surfaces that make it feel way more expensive than it is. Seats are plush, visibility is excellent, and the ride quality is calm. Perfect for long trips. Cargo space is generous too, over 70 cubic feet with the rear seats folded, which makes it a great weekend or travel companion. What really seals the deal for mechanics is how simple these things are to maintain. The Venza borrows heavily from the Camry's proven drivetrain, meaning parts are plentiful and cheap. Problems? Almost none. Maybe the occasional wheel bearing replacement or worn strut mounts after many miles. Both routine jobs. Plus, its $9,500 price tag makes it very affordable. Chevrolet Tahoe. If you're the type who likes your SUV built like an actual SUV, the Chevy Tahoe is a great option. For around 7 grand, you can snag a clean 2010 to 2013 unit, and mechanics will quietly nod in approval. Why? Because these things are built the old school way. Body on frame, big displacement engines, and minimal nonsense. Under the hood, you're getting a 5.3-liter V8 that produces 320 horsepower and a healthy 335 pound-feet of torque. It's the kind of power you feel when you press the pedal. Smooth, effortless, and ready to pull a boat or trailer without breaking a sweat. The 6-speed automatic transmission pairs beautifully with that engine, giving you a confident, relaxed driving experience both on the highway and off the beaten path. Inside, the Tahoe is all about space and comfort. 3 rows of seats mean you can haul the entire family, friends, and half the neighborhood, and still have room for gear. The cabin feels like a suburban command center, with big knobs, easy controls, and a layout that hasn't aged badly at all. Some models even come with leather, rear seat entertainment, and dual-zone climate control. All luxuries for under 10 grand today. Plus, it's really serviceable. Everything's accessible, from the oil filter to the suspension components. Parts are everywhere and dirt cheap. The only things to keep an eye on are the rear air suspension and rust under the frame. Otherwise, the Tahoe just keeps trucking, literally. Number 5. Acura RDX. Luxury doesn't always mean fragile, and the 2012 Acura RDX proves it. For around $9,900, you can get yourself a compact luxury SUV that still feels refined, powerful, and incredibly dependable. It's the kind of car that quietly embarrasses European rivals that cost twice as much to maintain. Under the hood sits a 2.3-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that pumps out 240 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. It's quick, smooth, and makes the RDX genuinely fun to drive. The 5-speed automatic transmission is simple but solid, not overloaded with tech like newer dual-clutch setups. And because it's Acura, the reliability is top tier. Mechanics love it because there's no exotic nonsense hiding under the hood. Inside, the RDX feels premium without being overdone. You get plush leather seats, dual-zone climate control, a sharp dashboard design, and the kind of driving position that makes long commutes almost enjoyable. The interior fit and finish hold up impressively well, even after a decade. No squeaks, no rattles, just a solid cabin that feels carefully built. Mechanics will tell you that as long as you keep up with oil changes and avoid neglecting the turbo's cooling system, these SUVs can easily cross the 200,000-mile mark. Replacement parts are affordable, and most Honda mechanics can service an RDX blindfolded. For under 10 grand, the RDX gives you the class of a luxury SUV, the dependability of a Honda, and just enough punch to keep driving interesting. It's the perfect mix of fun, function, and reliability. Number 4. Lexus RX 350. If comfort and longevity had a baby, it'd be called the Lexus RX 350. This is one of those SUVs mechanics genuinely love. Not because it's flashy or exciting, but because it never breaks down. For around $8,500, you can get a clean, well-kept unit that still feels like it just rolled out of the showroom. The RX 350 packs a 3.5-liter V6 that produces around 275 horsepower, paired with a silky smooth 6-speed automatic. It's quiet, refined, and pulls effortlessly. The engine's reliability record is almost flawless. It's the same power plant used in multiple Toyota and Lexus models, famous for reaching 300,000 miles with just regular maintenance. Step inside and you'll immediately understand why Lexus built its reputation on comfort. The interior feels premium, even by today's standards, with soft leather, genuine wood trim, and seats that feel like they were designed by a chiropractor. Cabin insulation is excellent, making highway drives whisper quiet. And every button, knob, and switch still clicks with precision years later. Most people like the RX because it's luxury without the headaches. Parts are plentiful, systems are simple, and the engines rarely cause trouble. The most common issues you'll run into are worn suspension bushings or a leaky valve cover gasket. Basic stuff for any used car. Otherwise, this SUV just keeps running with minimal fuss. For anyone wanting a premium driving experience on a working-class budget, the 2011 RX 350 is unbeatable. It's the kind of SUV you buy once, maintain gently, and enjoy for the next decade without regret. Number 3. Toyota RAV4. The 2012 RAV4 is one of those SUVs that simply refuses to die. It's the kind of car mechanics recommend to their own family members, not because it's exciting, but because it's almost impossible to break. It's also quite affordable at $9,000. The RAV4 comes with either a bulletproof 2.5-liter 4-cylinder or a stronger 3.5-liter V6. The 4-cylinder gives you around 179 horsepower, efficient, smooth, and more than enough for everyday driving. The V6, though, transforms this little SUV into something surprisingly quick, with 269 horsepower and a 0 to 60 time under 7 seconds. Not bad for a family hauler. The transmission is a conventional automatic, which means no CVT headaches or complex dual clutch repairs. And because it's a Toyota, the drivetrain components are very reliable. You'll find the same parts in other models like the Camry and Highlander, which makes repairs cheaper and easier. Inside, the RAV4 nails that just right balance between simplicity and comfort. You get a straightforward dashboard, comfy seats, and more cargo space than you'd expect from something this compact. Ride quality is steady, steering is light, and reliability is classic Toyota. You could drive this thing across the country tomorrow and not lose sleep about a single warning light. Mechanics rarely see these come in for anything serious. When they do, it's usually something minor like a worn motor mount or an oxygen sensor. Keep up with the oil changes and fluid flushes, and the RAV4 will just keep racking up miles like it's a personal challenge. Number 2. Subaru Forester. The Subaru Forester is for drivers who enjoy the road. This SUV is tough, capable, and carries a certain no-nonsense honesty that mechanics respect. Its $8,000 makes it super attractive if you're on a budget. Pop the hood and you'll find Subaru's trademark 2.5-liter boxer engine, a horizontally opposed 4-cylinder that gives the Forester its low center of gravity and that signature Subaru feel. It's not a powerhouse, with about 170 horsepower, but it's reliable, responsive, and pairs perfectly with the brand's famous symmetrical all-wheel drive system. That all-wheel drive setup isn't some part-time marketing gimmick. It's permanent, balanced, and gives you incredible traction in bad weather or rough terrain. Inside, the Forester is simple but smartly built. Big windows, excellent visibility, and an upright seating position that make it easy to drive in tight spots. The cargo hold is surprisingly spacious, the seats are firm but supportive, and everything is laid out with that Subaru function-first mentality. It's a cabin that still feels refreshing even years later. Mechanics will tell you the secret with Subarus is all in the maintenance. Keep the fluids fresh and watch for head gasket repairs on older ones, and they'll go the distance. The later 2012 to 2014 models improved those issues dramatically. And when serviced right, these SUVs regularly cross 200,000 miles without major trouble. If you're after a reliable go-anywhere SUV with a bit of spirit, the Forester delivers in spades. Number 1. Honda CR-V. When you ask a mechanic, what SUV under 10 grand would you actually buy? 9 times out of 10, you'll hear the same answer. The 2013 Honda CR-V. It's not flashy, it's not fast, but it's one of the most reliable, well-balanced, and sensible vehicles ever built. Under the hood, the CR-V runs Honda's rock-solid 2.4-liter i-VTEC engine, producing around 185 horsepower. It's smooth, fuel-efficient, and practically immune to drama. These engines are known to hit 300,000 miles with basic maintenance. The 5-speed automatic transmission is another strong point. It's old school, but that's exactly why it lasts. No weird CVT slip, no jerky shifts, just a dependable setup that does its job flawlessly. And with a price of $8,000, it's basically a steal. Inside, the CR-V feels like a masterclass in practical design. Every inch of space is used smartly. The seats are upright and comfortable. Visibility is excellent. And the rear cargo area is enormous with over 70 cubic feet with the back seats down. Honda's engineering magic makes it feel like a much larger SUV when you need it to, but it's still compact enough to park anywhere. The reliability record is legendary. Mechanics almost sound bored talking about it because there's just nothing exciting to fix. Everything works. You might see the occasional worn bushing or an aging AC compressor, but even those are cheap repairs. The CR-V's reputation isn't hype. It's earned through decades of consistent engineering and real-world performance. If you want an SUV that'll run for years, sip fuel, carry your life, and barely ever complain? The Honda CR-V is the undisputed champion under 10 grand. It's the SUV you buy once and never regret. If this list helped you spot your next ride, hit that like button, subscribe for more smart car picks, and tell us in the comments which SUV you'd trust to go the distance. Who knows, your story might make it into the next video.